I have faith in nights. I have faith in nights. It feels like we've been walking carefully, cautiously for at least an hour, making our way down a dim, slick, sloping tunnel. Each footstep is treacherous, yet oddly invigorating. The truth is, we'd only been moving forward for about 15 minutes, but it just seems so much longer. The dark can do that. It alters our perspective, our sense of time, and the reality that we cling to. We are in New Mexico, hiking from the sun-scorched surface of the desert through the yawning mouth of a limestone cave and down the narrow passageway, wet, slippery, reminiscent of a birth canal. We're returning to Mother Earth, I think. 20 minutes later, without any warning, the confining passageway opens spectacularly into a capacious cavern, wide, high. Our flashlight beams dance, fragmenting the dark. Glimpses of stalagmites, gray, brown, tan, growing up from the floor, bony fingers desperately reaching toward the light of our lanterns. Stalactites, long, dripping, and eerie, stretch down to us from the ceiling. We're going to turn off our lights. The voice of our guide cuts through our marveling. One by one, flashlights, then helmet lamps snap off. I hesitate when I realize my lamp is the last. Something in me resists. Something primal fears what I will fear and feel from the dark. I switch off the light. For the first time in my life, I experience true, complete, and utter darkness down in that cave. And I feel so alive. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscience, comments Carl Jung. Darkness pulls in everything, shapes and fires, animals and myself, how easily it gathers them, a great energy moving toward me, writes Rainer Maria Rilke. The dark will be your womb tonight, muses poet David White. As a friend of mine who is sight impaired tells me, when the eyes do not see, our other senses come alive. In our Western world, darkness has taken on the connotation of something to be avoided. Ever since European colonialism created a false structure of racial superiority, the dark, the brown, the black become something to be controlled, to be enslaved. Dark people were less than. They could be treated as beasts. Their valuable lands could be appropriated by those who were lighter, whiter. Today, the use of dark as a negative is so commonplace we don't even think about it. If someone struggles with depression, they're said to have dark moods. If someone wishes to hurt someone, they're said to have dark intentions. St. John of the Cross wrote of the pain-filled dark night of the soul. The opening lines of Michael Jackson's Thriller sings, "It's close to midnight and something evil's lurking in the dark." The Dark Lord of Sith is evil personified in the Star Wars movies. And the Dark Lord of Mordor is the principal antagonist in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter battles he who must not be named, the Dark Lord Voldemort. Animal shelters report that black-colored dogs are adopted at a lower rate than tan-colored ones. meaning that dark dogs are more frequently euthanized than their light counterparts. And even now, in our season of solstice, we hang lights on our trees and put candles in our windows. We've been taught to fear the dark. Poet Susan Cooper captures this well, writing, "So the shortest day came, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away." This is a far cry from the psychological insight of Rilke that Meg read. Rilke proclaims, "You, darkness, that I come from, I love you more than all the fires that fence in the world. I have faith in nights. Darkness that I come from, I love you. I have faith in nights." As Rilke says, we do, in fact, come from the dark. In the womb, our first earthly home, we floated in warm, watery darkness. I used to serve as an on-call chaplain at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Late at night, I would often be called into a birthing room to bless a baby as it left that inner darkness of the womb and took its first few breaths. Those nights were so filled with life. And so, as Rilke says, I have faith in nights. When a needed idea or insight arises after hours of tossing sleeplessly in my bed, I have faith in nights. When on those long nights I follow the sound of my breathing and suddenly sense an all-abiding presence of love and guidance, I have faith in nights. When the simple, natural beauty of a frozen December twilight calls me into connection with something beyond myself, I have faith in nights. When I step outside and see the full moon amidst the deep, dark winter sky, when I watch the gray skeletons of trees etch silhouettes in midnight shadows, I have faith in nights. When I hear the distant barking of a watchful dog, the sound of the owl in the pine tree beyond the fence, or the quick cry of the rabbit as it falls prey to that red fox in the woods behind our shed, I have faith in nights. Gary Kowalski writes, "Night has its own kind of beauty, different from the beauty of the day. Darkness is an invitation to listen to the world in stillness. Darkness is the den of life in germination. Darkness is the portal that opens to the mystery of all time past and endless time to come. At the center of our being, there is light and there is darkness, the known and the unknown, the named and the nameless, the finite and the infinite." This winter solstice, let's resist the urge to chase away the dark. For a few minutes, let's turn off our flashlights, our helmet lamps, our lights festooned in the trees. Let us resist the impulse to illuminate our night, whatever or wherever that night may be. Let us blow out the candles and allow the darkness to be our womb tonight. As I learned in that cave in New Mexico, sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of our aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring us alive is too small for us. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.